Hello, everyone. Semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. I am glad you're here. Somebody let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Um, Go ahead and say hello, hit the like button, do all that kind of stuff. Let me see here. I got to click off of you guys for just a second because my video for tomorrow finally got done checking, and I want to get that scheduled for its normal time and then be able to close that window so that, yeah, there we go. Now there's nothing running in the background. Uh-oh. There's 8 of you here and still no comments. Hopefully there's a little bit of a delay going on. It would be really nice if somebody said, yeah, we can hear you, but maybe not. Might be on my own today. But I am considering, as you all know, or should know, might know, the get-together for tomorrow is postponed because of the weather. I'm now targeting March the 11th, which is 2 Saturdays from now, because they just keep lowering the temperature and increasing the chance of rain for tomorrow. And the temperature is supposed to be down. So now they're calling for a high of 47 with about a 95% chance of rain. It's supposed to start raining tonight about 1 or 2 in the morning. Okay, Bert has said that I'm coming through loud and clear. Hello, Bert. Good evening to you. I'm glad you're here. And Sylvie can also hear me very well. Hello, Sylvie. I hope you're having a great day as well. But we're going to talk a little bit about dairy today. And hopefully we get some questions, because I probably only have about 10 to 15 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. And we're supposed to go for an hour, so hopefully I get some people come in and ask some questions today. That would be awesome. We're up to 7. Woohoo! 7 of us, yes. Donna says, hello, Bob and everyone. How are you today, Donna? I hope everyone has had a pretty good day. Oh, we're into double digits, 11 of you. Say hello. Don't forget to say hello in the comments as you come in. I'm glad you're here. And Danny is here from Duluth, Georgia. I'm not that familiar with Georgia. Is that northern or southern Georgia, or somewhere in the middle? But I'm glad you're here. Stephanie Wheeler, happy Friday, Bob. Yes, indeed. Same to you, Stephanie. Happy Friday to you and to everyone. I'm really happy it's Friday. I don't know why. I'm retired. It just seems like the thing to be, happy that it's Friday, right? Because most of you probably still have to work for a living, and I'm very, very sorry about that. This being retired thing, sometimes I lose track of the days because I have no responsibilities whatsoever. Well, that's not exactly true. I have to be in Ohio by a certain date to look after Mom while Janet goes to Florida, and I have to get home to Omaha so I can cut my own grass this summer to save myself some money. But outside of that, I'm walking and making YouTube videos. I'm up to just under 12,000 steps for the day. So after this live stream, while my food cooks for a little bit, I'm going to go out and get a few more laps in. And John, hello, Bob. I lost track of time. Thank goodness I got the YouTube notification. Yay! YouTube notifications. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's hard to say what's going on with that. Sometimes they just don't seem to work sometimes, but that's okay. Hand pink waving. Hello, Sammy Jane. How are you today? I'm glad you're here. And Donna is doing okay. And Danny says it's north of Atlanta. Okay. So that's probably fairly close to, it doesn't take very much to get to Chattanooga from there. Greetings from Jacksonville, Florida. Hello, Melanated Greatness. How are you today? Jacksonville, Florida. That's nice here. I've been through there a few times. We're up to 20 already. Oh, back down to 19. Somebody popped in and left again. I see how that is. Hello from St. Paul, Minnesota. You're getting some snow up there right now, aren't you? A friend of mine lives in that area, and she just posted up a video. She went out to walk in the snow, and it was coming down pretty good. She didn't think she was going to get as much as they'd originally called for, but I know it is snowing in that area. And Sophia also got the notification. Hi, Sophia. How are you doing today? And John says, what is your take on your 3-day fast? Well, it did what it was supposed to do. I didn't cough at all this morning when I got up. I've had a couple little coughs during the day, but nothing terrible. I feel fine. I feel great. I think it knocked out the rest of that cold like I was hoping it could have. Because, our bodies, when we eat, the immune system is involved in digestion. So if you have, if you're trying to get rid of something, not eating can let your immune system just stay dealing with whatever is wrong with you. I can't say for sure that that's exactly what happened. It could have just been time for the cold to be over. But I choose to believe that it was the fasting, because I'm really not a fan of 3-day fasts, because a carnivore diet, especially the way I eat it, with mostly beef and the occasional pork meal with just salt and water, is basically what's called a fasting mimicking diet. The intermittent fasting thing I still do because I want that insulin bump and then right back into ketosis. But you get pretty much the same benefits out of eating a carnivore diet as you do with intermittent fasting. I'm not a big fan of the 3-day fast, especially the way I did it, because I've always said don't force it, just let it come to you naturally. But it seems to have worked. My cold is gone. And Marnie Mac, hello from Toronto, Canada. Hey, Marnie, how you doing? Butane, 1 month carnivore today. Awesome. That deserves a high five and a fist bump. Be sure and let us know down in the comments how it's going for you. Because you're 1 month in now. It's time to start commenting, letting people know how it's going. Yes, lots of snow. Let's see here. Doing fabulous things, and you should come visit sometime. It would be great to have you present here. I don't even know where you're at, but I always like to travel. How'd you feel after eating that roast and eggs? I felt fine. I've done 3-day fasts before, and that's not in the realm where I have to worry about refeeding. I do occasionally, when I do a 3-day fast, I will eat like 1 egg or 2 or 3 bites of roast and then wait 15-20 minutes and then eat the rest. But I have not fasted long enough to have to worry about the refeeding thing. So it went fine. Thanks. Oh, and I ate a bunch. Yes, I did. The Alex Murdaugh trial in South Carolina has been interesting today. Hello from Oklahoma City. Yeah, I don't have a television. Especially this time of year, I watch on my computer or I watch on my phone. I have Paramount Plus because it's included with my Walmart subscription, Walmart Plus thing. And I have Amazon. So they have a bunch of videos I can watch. I have Pluto TV, which is a bunch of free channels. Yeah, the only time I pay for any kind of television service is during football season so I can watch the Buckeyes play. Other than that, I just don't watch any regular TV. One adventure at a time is here. Melting in Florida, 86 degrees today, and we cannot consume enough water. I have something that I got in yesterday. I've tried it one time. I'll put a link to this later. I'm going to talk about this in a video 2 or 3 days from now after I've tried it for a few days. But it's called Light Show. I don't know if you can, probably not going to be able to focus in on that. It's just a cheap built-in thing, but it's an electrolyte drop thing. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but this bottle was like $20, which is a lot cheaper than the Keto Chow. And I just wanted to try it because the Keto Chow Daily Minerals is extremely expensive, for me anyway, being on a fixed income. And this has the big three. It's got sodium, chloride, potassium, magnesium. And this actually has just a little tiny bit of zinc in it. I mean, really tiny bit of zinc. I'll let you know how it goes. It calls for one serving is 40 drops, and it says to put that in a liter of water. I put 20 drops in a bottle this size. I started with 10 and couldn't taste it, so I put 20 in it, and then I could taste it. It wasn't terrible. I'll let you know how things go with that. Like I said, I want to try it for at least a week before I put a link to it and tell people about it. But that's what's going on. How is the solar panel project going? I don't even know if this is Dave or Carrie. I'm assuming it's Carrie, but you never know. It could be both of you. But yeah, how's the solar panel project going? Hit the Golden Corral in Chillicothe today and had meat, and more meat. Good to leave a restaurant full and not feel guilty. John in Portsmouth, Ohio. Excellent. We actually still have one Golden Corral in the Omaha area. It's actually down in Bellevue, which is down by the air base. But I may have to go check that out, or we have casinos across the river, and there's always plenty of meat dishes on the casino buffets. I may have to try some of that when I get home, but for now, I like cooking my own food because I know exactly what's in it. But I may have to try that. Yay. 1% better than yesterday, cutting out the carbs slowly. Yes, indeed. That's the way to do it. Don't do it like I did. Don't just jump straight in. And, you may find that your version of the proper human diet happens at a much higher carb count than what I eat, because I eat practically none. There is a little bit of carb in eggs, and I think that's about all the carbs I eat. But there are a little bit of hidden carbs here and there, but some people do find getting 50 carbs a day. Some people have to turn the dial down as close to zero as they can get, or they land somewhere in between. But you do want to transition slowly to avoid all of the withdrawal symptoms, because sugar is addictive, and there are withdrawal symptoms that happen when you stop sugar. Oh, wow, we're up to 35 in here. That's awesome. Teresa is in the house. Hello, Teresa. If anybody has any questions, the smartest person in the room just got here. I am eating eggs. The price is starting to come down, so here and there in the future I may try to boil my own, but I'm still getting, because eggs have been so expensive, I've been buying, they come 6 to a pack. They're pre-boiled and pre-peeled, so all I got to do is open the pack up and eat them. And they're like $2.50 for 6 of them, which before the price of eggs went through the roof would have been expensive. But right now with the price of eggs, that's basically $5 a dozen, and they're already boiled and peeled. All I have to do is open the package and eat them. And the more I eat the eggs, I don't know if I've just recovered from whatever was making me not tolerate the eggs, or one of the things I did when I fried eggs and I didn't have any bacon grease or something like that, I did have an olive oil spray that I just put a quick little spray in to keep them from sticking to the pan. But the more reading I've been doing, heating up olive oil is bad. Olive oil is fine if you're putting it on salads and using it in other stuff that doesn't get too hot, but using olive oil to fry in is not the greatest idea because it has a very low smoke point and it oxidizes very easily once it gets hot. Oh, great big comment here from Johnny Ravioli. I've been doing great on keto carnivore. I intermittent fast daily, have an OMAD cheat meal once a week. I've been losing 2 to 4 pounds of weight. Thanks for all the great info. Hey, 2 to 4 pounds a week is a great pace. Later on, it's probably going to slow down a little bit, but don't let that freak you out. You're doing great. That deserves a high five and a fist bump. Good job, Johnny Ravioli. Hey, Bob, you can watch the trail on YouTube. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Sonny. You can watch the trail on YouTube. I don't know. We're up to 36. But she's saying, I hope you're having a great day. I had a great day. I'm over 12,000 steps, trying to get to 15,000 steps today because for those that, well, nobody's seen this yet because it's in tomorrow's video. The challenge for myself for March is I'm going to try to get 15,000 steps a day, which if I've done my math right, I said a little high. I said 7 to 7.5 yesterday. I've been doing between 5 and 6, and it looks like taking the average between my watch and my phone that 15,000 steps is going to come in a little bit above 6.5 miles a day, and I'm hoping to average that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not challenging all of you to jump right out there and do 15,000 steps because, you know, some of you just don't do that much. But what I am asking you all to do, whether you're walking or lifting weights or whatever kind of movement you're doing, pick a goal that seems just slightly too big. So, you know, let's say you're walking a mile a day and that's still a little hard. Go ahead and say, I want to walk 1.25 miles a day. To put it in steps terms, if you're doing 1,000 steps, then say, oh, I want to try and get to 1,500 steps. The first half of the month, you're probably not going to get there, but the second half of the month, you might go over it, which will give you an average of about that 1,500 steps. So all I'm asking everybody to do for March is to pick a goal that seems slightly out of reach and see if you can't get there by the end of the month. Bob, the high is 29 degrees in Oklahoma City today. You would love it here. No, I wouldn't. Oklahoma City is 2.5 states south of Omaha. So no, I wouldn't love it there. Sue says, hello, everyone from Nova Scotia, Canada. How's the weather up there in Nova Scotia today, Sue? I'm guessing it's cold. It's Canada. All of Canada is north of Omaha by quite a bit. So I'm assuming it's cold. Hello, Crafty. How are you today? I still have to disagree with you. I would have eaten every bit of that burnt bacon. Absolutely every bit of it. There's no bacon that's not good, even if it's burnt. I'm one of these weirdos that when I do before I started this and I did popcorn, I'd throw a bag of popcorn in the microwave, and I would intentionally leave it in about 45 seconds too long because I really love popcorn with that burnt taste to it. And I love bacon with the burnt taste as well. I don't like it that way all the time, but if I happen to burn the bacon, yeah, no big deal. I'm still going to eat it anyway. It's bacon. Scott says, inspired by your progress, day 8 of my carnivore journey, and I'm already seeing positive effects. Thank you for the informative and calming walk videos. You're welcome, Scott. I'm glad you found the channel. I'm glad you're on day 8. That's a really good start. Once you get past the sugar addiction, some people will call it the keto flu. Dr. Berry likes to call it the carnivore cleanse. Once you get past all that, things will smooth out, and hopefully you end up feeling great all the time. It's both of us, and the solar is working. But we have to regroup on the panels tilting. Not giving up, though, Carrie. Feel much better on less carbs. Yay. For those of you that don't know, one adventure at a time, that's Dave and Carrie and their marvelous dog, Rudel. They live full-time in their van, and they've been down in Florida this winter. And over the last few days, they've been working on adding more solar panels to the top of their van on a tilt system so they can tilt them towards the sun to get more sun on the solar panels so they don't have to move as often or run the van as often with these gas prices, so they can keep their power up to run their fridge and that kind of stuff. And they've been having a little trouble with that. But they say things are going well. I'm glad you feel better on less carbs. And Teresa says, thank you, Bob. She is. If you follow her, she's part of Dr. Berry's crew. And she's the smartest person in the room. There's no question about that. Golden Corral has great breakfast buffet that has lots of great meat on it, especially beef sirloin steak, and I just love it. Yeah, and I'm curious, those places that have those breakfast buffets, I could eat a lot of scrambled eggs with some bacon and sausages mixed into it, as long as they're not adding stuff to the scrambled eggs. That'd be something interesting to check out. So sad how much I used to cook food in olive oil. Yeah, and I really believe that it's the olive oil heating up, because I have cast iron at home that I use, but eggs still seem to stick if I don't put something in there. So instead of getting out a pat of butter or something like that, it was quick and easy, just a quick spray of the olive oil, and they didn't stick to my cast iron. But I'm not going to do that anymore, because I haven't had any trouble eating these boiled eggs, and I'm on my... Well, I bought 4 packs the first time I bought them, and then I went through 6 packs of them last week, and I've got 8 packs of them in the fridge now. I did just fill everything up. I got a freezer full of meat, and I got 6 packs of eggs in the fridge, another pound of butter, and as soon as we're done here with this live stream, I'm actually having, it's about a 2¼ pound package of those boneless pork chops that I buy, because they're so much cheaper than beef. I'm still having mostly beef, but I added in a couple packages of the pork chops again, because, the cheapest beef is $6 something a pound, and the pork chops were like $2.60 a pound. So I saved myself a lot of money by having a couple of those. And one other thing I just did, Craig, don't say a word. I'm going to give it a try, just like I did with the tuna. I ordered a 12-pack of sardines today, packed in water, and I'm not going to eat them right out of the can. I'm going to try mixing them in with my hamburger just to see. My guess is that I'm not going to like them. I'm going to end up throwing all but one of the cans away, but we'll see. I am going to give them a try. And I thought I was being healthy. Yeah, see, that's the whole problem. We're running into a lot of it. I mean, there's so many things that we've been taught since the time we were kids that this is the healthy way to do things. And zero carb, I can't remember the name of his channel right off the top of my head. He's the guy that lives in Japan, that had the stroke, that's doing great. He put out a really good video today, talking about some of the requirements. And did you know that to put the keto label on something, there are zero requirements? And the only requirement for saying like less sugar, if the entire box has 1 gram of sugar less than the industry average, you're allowed to put low sugar on the box. And it's crazy. I'll try to remember his name before we end today. I'm sure it'll come to me. But yeah, he's great video. Really, really good video. And oh well, no better now. And making all those changes. Yeah, we learn something new every day. And we were taught, we've been taught so many things that are wrong. They're just wrong. I mean, how do they get away with, like in my case back, when I was on the carb controlled diet that my doctor's office dietitian put me on for my diabetes, that if you added everything up, 240 grams of carbs a day. How do they get away with telling diabetics? And for those of you that aren't aware or don't know the exact definition, the definition of diabetes is elevated blood glucose. Period. That's all it is. Elevated blood glucose. So how, rather than saying, why don't you just stop eating extra glucose, how is it that they can still get away with saying, well, here, go ahead and have this stuff, and because it's going to add up to 240 grams of carbs a day, we're going to give you this pill to cut your glucose back down? It just seems like insanity. Some of the stuff we've been taught is just craziness. Let's try out. Oh, Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Hope you're continuing to have beautiful weather. Still chilly in Michigan. Thanks for the encouragement. God bless. Hello, Sandra. You're up there in Michigan, that state up north. It actually has been really, really nice down here. It was 85 yesterday. It's 75 today. The only day that's supposed to be bad is tomorrow, the day I was originally going to have my Walk with Bob day. For anybody that's still interested in that, that is canceled for tomorrow because it's only supposed to be a high of 48 with rain all day, which is just too cold and soggy to invite people my age out to go hiking together. I'm targeting the 11th, I think it was, 2 Saturdays from now. March the 11th. I got something else going on the 18th, and then men's conference. I mean, I'm just running out of Saturdays. It's, hard to believe in just another 5 weeks, I'll be in Ohio, actually 4.5. My time in North Carolina is coming to a close very rapidly, and then I'll be back in Omaha. And Marty Mac says, Dr. Berry says we should all share our story, so here's mine in a nutshell, in case it inspires anyone. Irritable bowel syndrome, migraines, hypertension, hypothyroidism, fibromyalgia, gone. Been carnivorous for 4 years. Way to go, Marty Mac. Absolutely fantastic. That deserves a high five and a fist bump. Good job. And now there's other people saying good job to you. Do you think it's a good idea to... I don't track a thing. I know that I'm making ketones because I'm not eating sugar. I just eat meat and some butter. And with that tuna thing, I've been adding a little bit of Parmesan cheese just to help cover up the taste of the tuna. But I've never tracked a single thing, not ketones. Now, back when I was still diabetic, I did check my glucose on a pretty regular basis. But my last A1C check was 4.8, which is extremely good. I'm no longer diabetic. I did check it once after Thanksgiving, after I'd eaten some cake and came home, and my glucose numbers were fine, which means my insulin is reacting properly again. So I don't. If you are having problems with glucose, if you're diabetic, you should continue to track it until your numbers stabilize. But tracking ketones, I mean, if you're one of these people that likes the input of what you're doing, I don't see anything wrong with it. But I don't track any of that stuff. About once a month now, I'll still check my glucose just to see. And it's been right now, it's been in the 75 to 85 range every time I've checked it. So I don't worry about it anymore. Yes, burnt bacon. You guys should go see her bacon video from yesterday. She burnt some bacon. I would still eat it. Some of you probably wouldn't, but I like bacon. And Bert agrees with me. Bacon should be near burnt and well salted. Yum. Yes, indeed. And just Jason Keto has shown up. Hey, Jason, how you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. You've had some really good interviews lately, especially with that girl right there. I really enjoyed that one a lot. Bacon medium rare. I've never met a piece of bacon I didn't like, but I prefer it crispy. And that may just be because that's the way I grew up. Mom always cooked bacon crispy. And that's what I've been used to. That's the way I cook it. I don't mind it if it's a hair bendy, but I don't do anything medium rare. Not my steaks, not my bacon, nothing. I don't do medium rare. But if you enjoy it that way, there's nothing wrong with that. And if what you're doing, as I say, if what you're doing is working for you, there's no reason to change. That's shocking. What I don't remember what I said. What is shocking, Sophia? Pat Real Food Nano. This is the first time I caught alive. I'm ear hustling as I drive home from work. Well, hello, Pat. Drive carefully. Don't get so caught up in stuff that you try to look at the phone to read the comments. That's dangerous. But yes, definitely listen. Drive safely. Let us know you got home okay. Yes, Zero Carb Life. I'm pretty sure that's him. Like I said, I think it was earlier today that video came out. It's yeah, and it might be I think it is No Carb Life. The guy with the hat and the accent who actually lives in Japan. But it's a great video that's on today that he put out. I think it was today. Yeah, and my Zero Carb Life is Kelly Hogan. And people saying huzzah to Marnie. And Teresa loves rare. Okay. I'm feeling better every day since starting Carnivore. Great. I'm glad you're feeling better every day. I certainly feel better every day. Sometimes it's hard to tell because I do still have those episodes with my joints that occasionally make me feel not quite as good. But overall, I'd have to say I feel better every day. Oh, yeah, shocking the food label saying keto isn't keto. Yeah, and there's also no requirement that I could find, the little heart healthy symbol that they put on things like Cheerios. That is a brilliant marketing ploy. There are no requirements for putting that on the box either that I could find. Just fired up my grill cooking a steak. I'll be right over. It'll only take me, you're in the middle of Texas somewhere, so I could be there in about 23 and a half hours, I think. Yes, I won't touch anything that says keto, because keto, things that say keto on them are products. And we all know how bad products are. Anything that has been, has more than, say, 4 ingredients. Now, yeah, Jason, we'll get to that comment there in just a second. But all these, the keto snacks and cookies and all of the things that say keto in the grocery store, that's just big food trying to get your money. And of course, people that don't know any better, they'll go to the store and they'll buy, 10 boxes of keto treats and a big, cart full of keto bread and keto this and keto that. And they'll fill up their grocery cart with all the keto stuff. And then they'll eat all that stuff for a couple of weeks and go, well, keto doesn't work. What's all that? You people are crazy. No, well, that's not actually keto. That's eating products that are highly processed foods that still have vegetable oils and grains and all that kind of stuff in them. And they just get to say keto on it because there's no requirements. And that's not keto. Keto is whole food, one ingredient food. And some exceptions. Just Jason Keto, Keto Brick. And, I'd like to try Keto Brick. I'd like to try, carnivore snacks and all that kind of stuff. I can't afford that kind of stuff. Man, oh man, is that stuff expensive. Keto Bricks I may try because if you order a bunch of them at a time, you get a fairly good price, and they are 1,000 calories each. But my whole objection to Keto Brick is that they don't have one that doesn't have carbs in it. And I know you're in better shape because you're on keto. I'm a carnivore. I don't eat carbs. So, I was just looking today to see if the thing, I don't even remember if it was one of the carnivore snack companies, Carnivore Crisp, Carnivore Snacks. I don't remember which one. I went out and checked their website today just to see where the prices were at. And for the prime rib meat snack, it was like $46 for a 5-ounce bag. I can't afford that. If I was going to spend $46, I could get, 2 fairly decent ribeyes from Walmart and have 2 full days worth of food. I can't afford that. For a 5-ounce snack, that's just craziness. Which is why I'm looking forward, because my oven is sitting at home waiting on me. My, air fryer / toaster oven / food dehydrator that I bought when it was on sale. It's sitting at home waiting on me. I am going to try and make some of that stuff for myself. Hello, Sana. I'm glad you're here. She has a good excuse for being late. She was meat shopping. There's never a bad time to go meat shopping. Wow, 46. I'm glad you're all here. Welcome to the show, folks. Yeah, meat shopping. There's never anything wrong with meat shopping. How to cure type 2 diabetes without fasting? It's very simple. Stop pouring carbohydrates down your neck. Eat as close to 0 carb as you can. Straight carnivore. And if you're still having trouble with your blood sugars, I would actually go beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's it. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Of course, adding some salt. But make sure it's real salt, whether it be Redmond's real salt or some other good salt. like Himalayan pink salt or whatever, I recommend Redmond's salt. Because most of the Umbrella Girl salts that come in that round package, they have sugar in them. And you want to get as close to zero as possible. And just if you do 90 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, your insulin will come down. And I remember, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. But if you stop dumping carbs down your neck, get as close to zero as you can get. You still eat eggs, but beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, in 90 days, go get your A1C rechecked. And for some people, if you've been diabetic for a really long time, you might have to go, 6 months. But yeah, it's just eat a very strict carnivore diet, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Or if you want, you can go straight up lion diet, which is just beef, salt, and water. And you'll get rid of your type 2 diabetes over time. Sometimes it goes quick, sometimes it goes slow. The only other thing that I would say is that if you are one of these people that takes insulin, make sure you monitor that closely with your healthcare provider, because your need for insulin will go down very fast. Teresa, did I miss anything that I should be telling JM there? Hi, Bob. Hi, folks. Beautiful day here in Beaumont, Alberta, Canada, minus 40. I'm assuming that's minus 40 Celsius. That's still darn cold, by the way. Don't get me wrong. That's still darn cold. Yeah, that's why I'm not in Omaha this time of year, because look at those temperatures. Omaha is in Nebraska, and then there's South Dakota, then there's North Dakota, and then all of Canada's north of that. I'd love to come visit Canada sometime, but in the summertime. I will not visit Canada in the winter. Not going to happen. Grill will be shut down in 3.5 hours. Oh, I know how to turn on a grill. Don't you worry about that. Hello, Jackie. How are you today? I'm glad you're here. Let's see. I'm getting a little behind here. A lot of people talking. Yep. No grains, no sugar, no seed oils. Yep. The stuff pretending to be zero carb. Absolutely. People saying hello to everybody. That's a really good rule to live by, Bert. If it's in a box, jar, can, or bottle, don't buy it. That's pretty solid way to go. It's all pretend food. Looks like food, but isn't food. Absolutely. Here. I'm keto. Morning blood glucose is still 150. I was carnivore was higher, 160 fasting. Been doing this for the past 6 months. Check everything you're eating. And you're checking it in the morning, but have you checked it just before you eat as well to see what it drops down to? Because part of it's called the dawn phenomenon or morning thing or whatever it's called. As our body is waking up in the morning, our body senses are waking up. And what do? We need energy. So through gluconeogenesis, it goes, boom, here, have some sugar to help you get up and get moving. So your blood sugar is probably at its highest in the morning. But I would check absolutely everything you're using. I mean, if you're still using any kind of spice or sauce or anything like that, you have to do everything, because there is no way eating beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, unless you have some other underlying condition that is undiagnosed. The other thing that you might want to do is make sure the next time you get labs done is get a fasting insulin and a C-peptide test done. Because if either of those are 0, you're not a type 2 diabetic. You are a type 1 diabetic that's been undiagnosed. But other than that, there's something hiding in your diet causing problems. And I don't know what that is because I'm not standing over your shoulder watching what you eat. A keto brick, there's a guy, I forget his name, Keto Savage, but if you look up keto brick, it's basically a meal replacement bar. They come in lots of yummy flavors. It's a pretty good sized bar that has 1,000 calories in it, with what is considered perfect keto macros. I've heard they're very good. I mean, they have, chocolate flavor and cookie flavor and all sorts of good flavors. And I'm told they're really good. I can't afford stuff like that, but I'm told that they're very, very good. If you just do a quick YouTube search for keto brick, you'll find them, or a Google search you'll actually find their website as well. Good stuff. Thank goodness for thrift stores like Goodwill and Salvation Army. We're going to donate our clothes that don't fit anymore and buy cheap clothes that do. Yeah, I haven't done that. I went through and I threw away 6 or 7 shirts last week after I wore them one more time. And I'm doing that with some of my biggest pants this week. Because, I've had all of my clothes have little frays on the end of them because I haven't bought any kind of new clothes in years. Since back before my heart surgery. It's like the pair of gray pants I have on now. I'm going to wear them today, but instead of putting them in the laundry when I'm done, they're going to go in the dumpster. Because I got 3 new pair of pants that are mostly the right size. They're actually starting to get loose again already, which is why I'm not buying anything more. But yeah. But thrift stores are a good place to get rid of clothes and buy clothes. Yes, indeed. Depends on what flavor you got. There are a lot of people that absolutely love those. And there was a new flavor that just came out. Brownie batter is the new flavor that came out and is sold out already because they've actually managed to mix in some organ meats. But I'm sure they're not for everybody, just like my beef and tuna surprise meal is probably not for everybody either. But I have gotten messages from a couple of people that tried it and they're like, that's surprisingly good. Yep. Yep, $46 is a bag of ribeyes. Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about, Teresa. Yes, keto brick is expensive. Keep in mind 1,000 calories of quality ingredients. It's not for everyone, though. Yes, absolutely. Yep, Jim. Just eat the meat, the eggs, and the butter. Excellent. Well, the thing you have to remember here, it's not just eating the protein. Don't eat lean meat. You need to be eating fatty cuts of meat. And the fat, as some people say, hang on, I got to adjust my pillow that I'm sitting on because my rear end's getting a little sore. I don't have near as much padding back there as I used to. We should be eating the muscle meat of large ruminant animals and their associated fat. You cannot really overeat protein if you're eating the correct ratio of fat. And what that looks like on your plate is at least 1/8 of the plate should be fat. And the other 7/8 should be protein. But if you want to get stuff with a little bit thicker fat, that's okay too. Because especially if you're having trouble with your diabetes, you want to be eating as close to 2 to 1 fat to protein as you can. So buy the fattiest cuts of meat you can do. Even talk to your butcher and say, I know you guys trim these steaks and roasts before you put them out. Could you get me one out of the back that hasn't been trimmed? Because I'd like to have all that fat, and see how you do with that. Hello, Jenny. How you doing tonight? And Joanna could never be sick of bacon. Yeah, I'm going to add some bacon back here pretty soon. I'm probably going to wait till I get home now, or maybe since at some point my sister's going to send me an email asking me what I want her to leave in the fridge at her house for me to eat while I'm there looking after Mom and her dog and some other things. She always stocks the fridge for me, and I may just say, if you want to find a roast or two, that's okay. But primarily, since it's going to be about 10 days, if you want to just get me 5 pounds of bacon and 10 dozen eggs, that'd be enough. That'd get me through 10 days. Might not even need 10 dozen, just 6 or 7 dozen. Because, a half a package of bacon and 8 or 9 fried eggs sounds like enough. But we'll just have to see how it goes. And Teresa's giving JM some more advice there. Let's see here. Yeah, most bacon in the UK has sugar. There are some places. Oh, we're over the 50 mark, 52 of you. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're here. And we still have about 10 minutes to go. Some of the things that you can do is, if you have a smoker, just buy a pork belly and smoke it yourself. Cut it up into bacon strips, or put it on the grill, or just buy pork belly. Or there are some, smoked bacons that you can buy. And there's actually a thing out there that I've seen called beef bacon. It's basically just beef belly that's been cut up into strips. But if you look around, you can find bacon that hasn't been cured in sugar. So that's. But yeah, you might, if you really like bacon, you might try, looking at how to season it yourself with good, clean ingredients, and just getting yourself. I know there's a little upfront investment, but get yourself a smoker, buy yourself a pork belly, and do it yourself. Yeah, no, glucose does go up when you eat protein, but you cannot overeat it if you're eating the associated fat, because you do want some insulin spike every day. The object is not to be in ketosis 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because if your insulin never bumps up, then you're missing on a vital hormone. It's a very balanced system, which is why I personally recommend 1 meal a day, so that you're getting all your calories in one shot. That big bolus of protein makes your insulin go up, stays up for a little bit, and then it comes back down, activating your insulin, giving you all the good effects that you have to have for having insulin in your system, yet still lowest for most of the day. So yes, technically glucose does not increase when you eat protein. Your insulin goes up. And then as you need it, gluconeogenesis will make sugar. But if you don't need any sugar, it's not going to make it. It's kind of an in-demand system, as far as I understand it. But remember, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. But no, just if you think you're getting too much protein, add more fat. The fat will make you full sooner. But my type 2 diabetes is gone. My blood glucose numbers are fine. And, what did I eat the other day? 1.25 pounds of hamburger with 2 cans of tuna in it and 6 boiled eggs. When I broke my fast, it was just a small roast. It was about a 2-pound roast. But I've eaten 2.5, 2 3/4 pound roasts all in one sitting. And my glucose numbers stay fine. Not that I check them that often, but every time they do get checked, they're fine. Yes, Teresa said it'll only make what you need. You don't automatically go into gluconeogenesis because you ate protein. And if you're going to eat affordable snacks, how about getting some pork cracklings, Mac? Yeah, pork rinds are a good snack, and I've found I call them beef fat cracklings or beef fat chunks or whatever you want to do. Buy just the beef fat trimmings from your butcher. Depending on where you're at, some places will give them to you. Some places will charge you 50 cents or $1 a pound. Take them home, start the rendering process in a pan so that you can filter that out and have some good tallow to cook in. But when they get mostly done, take all those fat chunks, throw them in the air fryer till they get crispy. Excellent, excellent snacks. Throw some salt on them. You're golden. That's a great snack. It varies, of course, but Toronto's about 18 degrees Fahrenheit, and I walk a minimum of 6 miles a day. Good for you. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And that's why carbs make you fat. We eat way more than the body needs. The body is smart, and we are dumb. Absolutely excellent advice. Let's see here. Out delivering garbage to the masses. Yep, Jackie is out doing her zoom around town delivering food thing. So I don't know if anybody picked up Jackie's time spot or not right after me, but don't forget, I go off on Eastern time. I get done here about here in another 3 or 4 minutes, which is 6:15 Eastern, and that used to be them from 6:30. It says so 7:30. Don't forget at 7:30, Hungry Heath comes on at 7:30. And I'm sure he's going to be cooking up something good because he always does. My husband just told me there's a recall on Corsi air fryers, a bunch of them. Yeah, I got that notice on Amazon, but it was for one that I bought like 4 years ago. So I'm not worried about it. It's the older models that are being recalled, not the newer ones. I got a rapid fire round going on here, so let me see what I can find here. Yeah, I did sort of know that. Minus 40 Celsius and minus 40 Fahrenheit are the same temperature. I didn't think of that at the time. I have seen that. I do know it, but either way, it's darn cold. Okay, let's see here. Take a quick look through some of this stuff. Yeah, we're not going to get to the dairy today. I started getting questions and comments, but that's okay. Look for tomorrow's video because I go into dairy in depth on tomorrow's video. Yeah, checked mine. It's not on the list. They're catching on fire yet, but it's, as I understand it, it's the older models that are catching on fire. No, not yet. I'm not going to worry about that till the time comes. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. There he is. Yeah, Robert Sykes is Keto Savage. Let's see here. 5 days left of the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs to make 60 days. Just hoping chicken wings don't give me problems. But following Dr. Berry's reintroduction, so in due time. Let's see here. Dana, Cassie, and Larry have a great recipe on chicken soup. First solids they had after a 4 and 9 day fast. Yeah. be sure and check out Carnivore Quest is the name of their channel. They just put up a chicken soup recipe. I don't know how recently it was, but her chicken soup recipe is very, very good. Let's see here. I'm still behind, and it's 5:15. Let's see here. My butt gets sore on long trips. I'm glad I have a really nice pickup truck. It's old, but it was a very expensive pickup truck when it was sold originally 20 years ago. So there's still plenty of good padding in the seats with lots of adjustments, or I would have had problem. Yeah. The only thing I've really noticed is that, because I've always been this bald, the only thing I noticed is that it's not quite as gray. I may be getting a little brown back into it, but I'm not worried about it. It's actually almost time to hack it all off again, because I cut my own hair once every 6 months, and I don't pay that much attention to it. Let's see here. Oh, epaulets. Hi, Bob. Glad you made it. How are you today? I'm glad you're here as well. Love pork belly in the air fryer. There you go. Air fried pork belly. I found low sodium bacon sometimes doesn't have sugar. That's here in Canada, though. So yeah, check all the weird bacons. I actually saw someone that they said they actually liked turkey bacon on their carnivore diet. It sounds like sacrilege to me, but, and I don't even remember what they were saying about it, but it gives them the bacon flavor with a leaner cut of meat to go with other stuff. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I just remember that from one of the videos I was watching. So wouldn't a salad with some steak be less? No, it would not. The exact requirement for vegetables in the human diet is not 1 gram ever. You can get absolutely every nutrient you need from meat and its associated fats. It's not that much protein. It's not all that protein if you're eating the appropriate amount of fat. If you're eating too lean, then yes, you can get too much protein, but that's still really hard to do. And there's nothing wrong with too much protein. It doesn't automatically kick into gluconeogenesis. It's an on-demand system. It doesn't automatically turn to sugar. And protein makes blood sugar slow and steady, not spike like sugar does. Let's see here. And see, some people have to eat 2 meals a day, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I'm guessing Grateful Keto, we've talked before, and I'm thinking you do 2 meals a day, but within a 6-hour window, so you're still getting an 8-hour intermittent fast. Most people, if they're eating the correct amount of protein, the muscle meat of large ruminant animals, and the associated fats, they have trouble eating enough. Most people you'll find are under eating rather than overeating. Like I said, I eat anywhere between 2 and 3 pounds of meat a day, and I'm still losing weight. I'm now at the 140 pounds down mark in 9.5 months. Most people that get into a stall, if they start tracking things and looking at it, or they're having trouble, most of the time, I won't say all the time, but most of the time, that trouble comes from eating too little, not too much. Hello from North Canton, Ohio. I'm on day 5 Carnivore. Hello, Jay Gons. I'm glad you're here. You made it just to the end. What do you got here? Also, try thinly sliced beef brisket in the air fryer. It was hooked up to press. It would taste just like beef bacon. And this because people are finding just fine, just straight up. Yep, there you go. And we've got done here. My husband and I both have Lyme disease. He's been on Carnivore a bit over a year since, and we are thankful for the benefits. I started after watching him, then found you and others for inspiration. Yeah, and Dr. Barry, I'm pretty sure Dr. Barry has a Lyme disease video out there. Some things that might help you get over that if you're still having trouble with it. There's several really good doctors out there on YouTube. Thanks for the great content. Remember to like the video. Not 1 gram ever, Bart K. Absolutely. Salad is not our friend. High five and a fist bump. Yes, it can. It may take longer than that. I got my labs checked at the 4.5 month mark. And at the 4.5 month mark, my A1C was 4.8. Everybody's different. Some people it'll take a few weeks. Some people it'll take a few months. It might even take you a whole year. But regardless of how long it takes, continue to eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and your blood sugar will continue to come down. Your insulin will normalize. Everything will be better. But depending on how sick you've been for how long, it could take a while. Hello, Sherry. I'm glad you made it just in time for me to say I'm glad everyone came today. Oh, let's see here. Oh, I started losing weight immediately. If you go back earlier in my channel, you'll find that my first 29 days, I lost 29 pounds. Now, granted, a lot of that is water weight, inappropriate inflammation. But some of it was fat. And I continued to go and go and go and go and go. And I just kept losing weight. And I'm still losing weight. I'm not losing as much weight now because I know I'm putting on muscle because I've been exercising a lot harder. I've been doing push-ups and sit-ups and squats as well as walking 5 to 6 miles a day. So I know part of what I'm losing, I'm putting back on because muscle is much heavier than fat. But, so yeah. Let's see here. Do you eat cheese? I just started adding a little bit of Parmesan cheese back into my diet. I buy the grated, and I put just a half an ounce to an ounce of sprinkle over top of when I make my beef and tuna mixture to help cover up the taste of the tuna. But as far as sitting down to eat cheese, no, I don't. Yeah, you still want to try and do 1 meal a day or 2 meals in a 6-hour eating window. You still want to do some intermittent fasting every day because the whole problem that people run into, the worst advice, this is the last comment I'm going to make, and then I'm going to have to get off of here because it's coming up on 5:30. I've gone way over. The worst advice we've gotten in the history of man is we should eat 6 to 7 small meals a day. That is the worst advice ever. Because every time you eat something, whether it's fat or carbs or protein, fat has the least reaction, protein has a little more, and carbs has a much bigger reaction. But there is some reaction with your insulin. Every time you eat, your insulin goes up. What's supposed to happen is after it deals with what you've eaten, it's supposed to come back down and stay at a low level the rest of the time. And that low level of insulin is where the magic happens. But if you're eating not more than 2, but 3, 4, 5 meals a day, every time you eat, your insulin bumps up a little bit. It starts to come back down, but then you bump it back up. It starts to come down and you bump it back up so that it never goes down. And that is how you become insulin resistant and diabetic and all the other bad things that happen with hyperinsulinemia. So I'm not saying you have to eat 1 meal a day. That's what I've been doing. 2 meals a day in a 6-hour feasting window is just fine. And work up to it. I have several videos on my channel about intermittent fasting. If you go watch those, it'll explain how to slowly shrink your window down so that you get into where you need to be. Yep, and there's a link to support for Dr. Barry's private community. It's $5 a month. It's a great place to go. I don't just snack on cheap, but I started using it more as a condiment on my meals or a portion of it. And if you're doing okay with it, that's fine. Oh, I got a super chat right at the end. Thank you very much. Thanks for this talk. It meant so much. And hey, real quick here before I go, if you have any other questions that did not get answered today, there's my email address scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to answer those. Everybody, it's been great talking to y'all today. We're still at 56. This has been a great chat, but I'm way over time now, and I am starting to get hungry, and I got to get my food cooking here. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better today, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here, guys.